Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Mustafa. Today we're gonna learn about introduction to Bash, the Bash shell. We have the Bash shell in our curriculum, so we're gonna demonstrate this Bash shell course. So this is just an introduction, and the lecture as PowerPoint is so much content. So I'm gonna make this lecture as simple as possible. So here, this is the outlines. These are the outlines that we're gonna discuss: the bash features, file system, the file specification, file system commands. So we're gonna learn about this together, the bash. So we open the terminal. The first feature about the bash shell is the recalling commands. About the recalling commands, we have a specific command called history. This history will list all the commands that we have run and typed previously. So the commands on this shell, all the commands we use in this shell will be displayed, listed here using the history command. It's very useful to memorize some of the commands. Yes, so this is very useful, and we can re-execute the command using the hash. We can execute. Let's clear the terminal. Let me tell you a tip that if you want to execute the previous command exactly, you just type R. Why? Now if you type R, nothing will happen because we just use the clear. Let's type history again. You see that the last command is clear, which is 44. The number of the command is 44. So let's, for example, let's create this cat hello bash. We just use this hello bash, no problem. It has an error, but don't worry about this error. So let's type R. You see R executed the previous command, the exact previous command that we have used. So clear the terminal again, and we have a feature of the bash shell which is called the shell variables. Okay, we have the shell variables, and these variables is unique. So the declaration and the definition of a variable is, you just type var equal the variable name. The variable name is here, and we have the value. But this is not, this is just like that. And one of the things that you must know about the variables of the shell is it is typeless, which means that every type, every content, every value of the variable will be as a string, will be treated as a string, except for integers. So if we have a variable here called, for example, area equals 23.1, this 23.1 value will be treated as a string. So if you want to bring the value of the area, we use the sign dollar and the variable name. So equal area, you see 23.1, which is the value of this area. So that's it. This is the variable of the shell. This is how to declare variables. You can use it. You can use and by the way, you can't use calculation or arithmetic operations on these values or these variables except for integers. So you can't make summation of strings together or double, because also the doubles and float are treated as a string. So here, if you have another variable, let's call it as x equals 5 or 15. Okay, we have this 15, and let's create another variable called y. This y is 20, is 35. If you want to equal the summation of these numbers x and y, we're gonna use this x plus sine dollar y. This should print the summation of the two numbers. This this is treated as a string, so even the integers sometimes we need to make typecast. The point here is just to know the syntax of definition and defining a variable in the bash shell. So clear the terminal. We clear the terminal. Now we have something called the redirection. We have a feature called redirection of bash. So redirections mean we direct a content or a command to a specific location or a file or directory, a file in a directory. So if you want to use this command, let's say that we have a file called whatever, just put life is good. If you just type this life is good equal life is good, it will be printed here as you see exactly immediately in the terminal. But let's redirect this life is good. We don't want it to be here, we want it to save it to another file so we can use it another time, so we can show the content of the file again. So we type equal the same command, but here we do something like the greater than mark. The greater than mark here, this symbol means put this content of the output of this command in this specific file 1.txt, for example. Now this, if you just use the cat command for file 1.txt, we should see life is good. We have another symbol for putting a content, for putting output to a file, like we have the greater than, double greater than command. Here if you just make life is good, and let's use this, was it, for example, to this file. This means, this symbols means add the content of this, the output of this, to a file 1.txt, but do not override the current item, the current content of the file. So this appends the output of this to this file, which is file 1.txt. So let's execute, let's run again cat file 1.txt. See, life is good and was it. Yeah, this is it. But if you use this like equal life short, for example, and if you use this like file 1.txt, this will override the content of the file and the text and put this output. So execute, and again cat file 1.txt, we see life is short, so this is overridden. So let's clear the terminal. We have another features of bash shell. We have a feature like we talked about the variables. We have this, we can use escape characters. For example, in this example, life is short, we can use escape characters, which we know, like \n, which will create a new line. So execute this and use cat one. You see, life is short, the escape characters are interpreted as new line. Okay. We also have something like called Linux pipe. The pipe, as we see, this symbol is called pipe. So the pipe, the feature called pipe is used to send the output of one program to serve as the input to another. How? I'm going to make a simple simple example. For example, if we want to count the number of items in a directory, the ls command, this one, the ls command is only listed the items found in a directory. Okay, and we have another command called wc, which is the word counter. This word counter command, it counts the number of items found in a input and output 3 pieces of information: the number of lines, the number of words, the number of characters. So if we use the ls command, ls when, this will print all the directories and files all listed in the current path, but we won't count the number of files. We won't want this one. We want to count the number of files and directories. So this is not possible using the ls command with the option -1 as one column. This cannot be only useful. And we have the word counter. To have the word counter, we can use word counter -l here to the line numbers. We can use this. So we combine this command together like ls -1. We use the pipe. Command wc, which is the word counter -l. So the first command, ls -1, will retrieve the contents as one column, and wc will count the number of lines of this command. So we take advantage of this command. We use it here in the second command. So we just hit enter. We see that we have 13. So we have 13 lines of directories and files. That's it. Another useful bash features is the wildcard. The wildcard are a shortcut approach to specify a number of similarly named files without having to enumerate all of them. So if you want to retrieve so many commands, so for example here we see that we have 3 files, f1, f2, file 1. If you want to retrieve all the files, like let's use ls, this star, the star means all.txt. This will retrieve all the files with the extension .txt. We can also cat these files, like cat everything that ends with .txt. Hello in redirection input, hello in the life is short, so it retrieves all the. This is a very good features if you want to navigate and if you are not sure about the name of the file. And we have also the file system. The file system is a logical way to describe the collection of storage devices available to the computer. Okay. The file system is logical, as we said. So here this path exactly tells you 4 things. The first thing is who you are, where you are, who you are, and where you are. The first thing, who you are, is this thing, this one, Kali. The second thing is where you are. This is where you are, Kali virtual machine. Now we are in a virtual machine. Secondly, we have who you are again. Who you are, we mean the type of user. Now we have, this is a standard user. We have 2 types of user, the root user and the standard user. This one is the standard user, who you are. We have where you are, which is this expansion symbol. This expansion symbol tells us that we are in a root directory. So if you use the command pwd home Kali, so we are in the home directory. We are in the root directory right now. Okay, this is how the file system works. and we have something called passes, like in every system, or like even like in Windows. Now if we just want to make, let's ls we have bash desktop, for example. Let's navigate to desktop. Sorry, desktop, cd desktop, and let's create a file here by using the touch command, f3.txt. okay, so ls again, we have the f3.txt in the desktop. So here, if you just use the pwd command, we will see that we are in home Kali desktop. So we are in the desktop. This is the path of the file. You can use it to copy the file or move the file, rename the file. We need that path. If we are in the home directory, we need that path. So the final thing, to finalize things, we have some commands that is useful. We have used the print the pwd, which stands for print working directory. We have used it recently. Let's get back to, we have the cd for change directory, of course. We use the double dots for to get back to the previous path. We have the ls command for list the content of the directory. We have the mv command is for move or rename a file or directory. So if you wanna move, let's again use the ls. If you wanna move this f1.txt to desktop, we will use this command, f1.txt. Then we will just specify the destination. This is the source and we have the destination. Let's move it to desktop. Desktop. Okay, this is good. So here we move the file. Let's do ls again. We will not see f1 is listed here again, but if we just change the directory to desktop, ls, you will see that f1 is moved. It's permanently moved. And we have a command rm for removing the directory or a file. Like let's remove f3.txt. So f3.txt rm f3.txt. Let's do ls again. We have all the f1.txt. It's permanently removed. We have options. For example, for every command in the bash shell, we have options and argument. So this is the argument f3.txt. rm also have the options, like we have rm rf, which stands for force remove forcefully the f1.txt. So this will not ask you for, are you sure, the confirming messages and this, so will not be asked for this. We have a command called rmdir. It removes a directory. So let's create a directory by mkdir commands, and let's call it tempo. And here ls, we have the tempo directory. Let's delete it. We use the rmdir to delete that tempo. Yeah. So ls command again, and we have nothing in our directory, which is a desktop. We also have the cat command. I think we have used it previously. The cat command, it just shows the content of the file. It outputs the content of the file. So if we have file tree, I'm not sure if it exists or not, but we don't have file tree. Let's change the directory. ls, see what files do we have. We have f2.txt. So let's use cat command f2.txt. hello in redirectory input. This is so simple using the cat command. So we can also redirect this cat command. So if you don't want to see the output of that file here in the script, we can redirect this output, as we have said previously, to another file. So we use cat f2. We use this to let's name the file, which is output, for example, output. So here the command is executed, but we don't see it here unless we go to that output file. So cat output file, cat output, sorry for the misspelling, hello in redirectory input. So the output goes to that place. Again, let's use the history command to recall. These are the commands that we have used recently in this video. So this is the conclusion of the course. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, of course you gotta like the video, hit the like button, and don't forget to remember and memorize all the things. This is the effort that I use, and I hope you enjoy the video and get benefit from it. So now thank you all.